you started with the physics definition. I'm basically a mathematician turned into a physics person. So I'm a mix of both. My PhD is in fluid mechanics. So I'm a mechanics man. Work comes in mechanics, right? It is not what you produce. That is only a modern scientific concept and a definition of work in that way. Any Bhagavad Gita says you cannot be inactive. Any action is a work. Whether you produce result or not doesn't matter.
Okay.
Assume that I am creating something new. I am working, but it may not produce a result. It may not be commercially.
Okay.
It becomes a failure. That doesn't mean I didn't work. I work solving a problem. From morning till evening, I was working on a problem. I am a researcher. Basically, my PhD is in mathematics. We get problems and we have to work on the problem. And result may come or may not come.
Okay.
So the basic physics principle doesn't work in the intellectual style. It's only a physical work, which have been debated all over. I am also a management professor, where I taught technology management. So what definition you give in technology management will not work in emotional, intellectual level. So Bhagavad Gita says anytime we are in action, action is work. Whether yeah, but there is some small confusion because many people convert to this English word has a lot of confusion in understanding at emotional level, intellectual level, at different levels. It is not well defined. Right? The original Greek and European text is, if you look at the etymology, it will be European or Greek. That is why most of the time when you don't understand English, we say it's Greek and Latin to me.
Greek and Latin.
So work itself is a word which is Greek and Latin to most of the people. Similarly, in Eastern philosophy, many people convert work and action into karma.
Yes.
But karma is not day-to-day activity, brushing my teeth, cooking, all that activities is never considered in the Eastern philosophy as karma. Karma is what impacts the society. And there are two types of work, action or karma. I'll use three words parallelly now. Either it's a work or an action or a karma. There are two types of different activities which we do. Call it as activities. What is called ishta karma, that is more my selfishness. My selfishness is a mother feeding the child is not for the benefit of the child. Actually, mother enjoys. You are producing a child not for the child. You are producing because you enjoyed sometime and by mistake a kid produced. You understood? So most of the time the mother is making the child to sleep. If the child is feeling sleepy, the child will sleep. But mother enjoys singing the lullaby. The mother enjoys playing with the child. So it is your selfishness. I am enjoying my job. Why am I joining this discussion now? I am enjoying. Whether Mona gets benefit or Srinivas gets benefit or Hitesh gets benefit or Rajani gets benefit, and I don't know who is that, Aravind gets benefit, I am not concerned. So is that work which has got a result, or I am doing it because I am enjoying? So do you call this as a work or a passion? Or do you call this as my enjoyment? So when you reach your job, whatever you do, in the level of self-enjoyment, that comes into the spiritual world. So there are different levels in which you wanted to look at work. Physical work, yes, physics principles, Western philosophy, what dictionary says, what Google says, fantastic. That's at the physical level. That's a theoretical level, that is in the modern science level. When it comes to emotional, oh, I am so much passionate about something. I keep traveling. Why am I traveling? Am I not working while traveling? Yes, what is the benefit? I am not traveling. I am in a journey. The travel becomes a journey. The travel becomes a work for the driver. But if I am enjoying all through my travel becomes a journey. There is a lot of difference between travel and transportation is only shifting one person from one place to another place. But if I am enjoying throughout, I don't keep saying that I transported myself from here to Kathmandu. No, I enjoyed my travel, then it becomes my journey. My journey was beautiful. My travel was horrible. When it becomes a travel for which I am paid, the pilot is doing his work. But those who are traveling with an enjoyment is on a journey. So where do you call work? You want to define my mother did work in her life? I don't think my mother did any work in her life. She enjoyed her life. She never thought of a payment because every moment she was enjoying. When she was giving me lessons and I was sleeping on her lap, I don't know how much money I had to pay for her. No, that her lap was my bed.
Absolutely.
Understood? I enjoyed and she also enjoyed. And do I pay back to that? Is it based on the payment? No. Got it? So, we have a great concept of the passion, enjoyment, responsibility, happiness. These are all too much of mixed feelings which people have to understand its level. For you it can be different, for me it can be different. For me, going to Everest, somebody was telling it's so cold, why do you go there? See, you can also, I traveled to Kailash. So when I went for Kailash Parikrama, somebody was telling, what a terrible journey, no masala dosha is available. See, for him eating masala dosha every day is important. So that becomes a trouble taking him there, right?
Yeah.
So if I enjoy my steps, I think I am paid. So when I take class, I keep saying, if I have got good audience, if I talk to my students, I am enjoying. For some people, it is a way of earning money. With that money, he goes for an enjoyment later. So are we enjoying our life or are we getting payment for which I can use that money for enjoyment later? It's all to be different.
Absolutely right. Rightly said. The journey itself is the place which needs to be enjoyed.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah. So, but for some people, what happens is, what is that your motivation in life? Your motivation is learning, motivation is earning, motivation is becoming famous, motivation is becoming happy. If my motivation is becoming happy, I don't care about being famous, whether I learn or not doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I am with somebody because we share same frequency, we oppose each other, therefore my knowledge gets grinded. I get some knowledge from somebody else. I love to sit with somebody so that he agrees, so that I have something to give or not to give. Doesn't matter. So enjoyment can be many ways.
absolutely, enjoyment can be many ways, and here what you said is that it's a journey. But here, how would you said it is, one is result oriented, one is not result oriented, one is absolutely based on passion. So here you have given a completely comprehensive, a description of work.
Basic requirement of a human being is freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
What is lost is freedom.
Freedom of choice.
Yeah, the freedom of choice is defined by the culture in which you are living. What freedom you have, now you were telling the dominance of male or female. The dominance of male is what is creating problem for female. You go to the northeast, the house, business, hotel establishments, hard work. Where Srinivas was telling men is meant for, it's all culture. I was traveling to through the Manasa Sarovar to Kailash route. Earlier days, our vehicle will not cross the river. It's one lady who have that ramp made with wood on which the vehicle is kept, and she pulls it. Her husband will be sitting there and seeing what she does. And physical strength for ladies are much higher than gents. So it's all, now you look at the culture. What has happened, the new government system in which there is a policy of the central government giving job to all the ladies. Every one lady at least from the house will get a job. And minimum wages are paid to them. And they are supposed to work for the government, panchayat, local level. They have got what is called Kudumbasri, a cooperative system in Kerala. Now if you go to every house, you ask who purchased the fridge? Mother. Who purchased the house? Mother. The father has become a dummy person in most of the houses. The property is owned and earned by the ladies in the house, and they are more powerful. So there is a transition from the freedom which men had. I was telling sometime how to control the drunkard and such violence in the houses. I told, decide that bar, now generally it is all government ration, right? You decide that only ladies can buy alcohol from the shops. You will see tomorrow onwards the husband begging the wife for a peg.
But then I'm not saying that is also gender.
That is why I am saying the freedom.
It's
See, it is freedom. It is not controlling one over the other, who is powerful or who is not powerful. It is the freedom.
It's the freedom.
Why in Western country not many problems are there? I was taking Bhagavad Gita class. Husband and wife comes for the class. They come from same home, but they come in two different vehicles. Whenever they feel one can go, the other will stay. They don't consult each other. Are you ready? Why are you not coming along with me? And all is not there. You are married, you are staying together, you produced children, and you are working, you are earning or not earning, doesn't matter. They have freedom. Whether to attend a party, with whom, where to go, they have freedom. That's a different culture. But here, we don't call that as a freedom. Because in our custom, that freedom is not there. When we go for a party without our spouse, somebody will ask, why you have come without your wife? Why you have come without your husband? Because not going with somebody is a problem here. There, going with somebody is a problem. No? So it's all culture. It keeps changing by that time.
But there the problem.
The problem now is we are in the transition stage.
They might go with many of them.
Yeah, we are in the transition stage. We are in the transition stage. We are neither east or nor west.
Yeah.
Neither we understood the east philosophy perfectly, nor we are going to understand west also perfectly.
Yeah.
That is why all these problems and discussions are happening.
This entire issue which is happening or exaggerating today in the society will change. Wo in Hindi we call apnapan, that is messing up in the family, which was very much deep in the old times. I have lived in a joint family with 16 people. I have seen in the child or division of labor. Fights are there, but the bond is also there where people come back together. This is completely missing, and people are creating walls because of this, dissolving the emotional bond. This is to be done. Children today will say, okay, because they are not being feeded from or nurtured from the childhood, they have been pampered, over pampered. They think, okay, this is not my work, this is my mom's work, she will only do. They are seeing that kind of segmentation in today's family. So instead of, one thing is that competition has to go away, I believe that, and that harmony needs to prevail. Understanding it's me, it's our family. If it doesn't start from there, then what are we going to try to do in the society? I feel the justice will not be served in the society outside if it's not in the house. This is what I can say, and this is should be the baseline of what I think the work or the thought process or the I would say the इसको हिंदी में क्या कहते हैं I don't know the movement you are planning to bring up.
Absolutely. Rajni, very rightly you said that the segmentation and the competition, there is so much of a competition in our own house that ye mera kaam hai, ye tumhara kaam hai, because the mind itself is one is above the other. I think this is getting so be crazy. DPS, what were you saying, please?
See, the influence of the media, the cinema, what is being seen by all of us every day. Earlier it was all satsang. We had time for talking to people who have wisdom, elderly people stayed together. No, we have lot of sharing, caring, loving, all that was happening. Today, most of us are being influenced by what is written in the literature, what is written as a story. You know, there is a great saying by Nelson Mandela who says, it is very difficult to have a good head and a good heart together. It's a very formidable combination. But if somebody has to create an art, they have to balance the head and the heart. So most of the art forms are not realistically applicable in life. And what we are seeing around and copying or trying to copy by many of the people, if somebody is fighting with somebody else, they have been addicted, they have been following, they have been hearing such things and seeing every day on the screen. And that was just for an entertainment, but that started influencing the life. The difference is not understood. The way in which what is shown in the scene, in the screen, in the reel. Earlier I remember Sky, we had a discussion on the real and the real life. So what is shown in the Macbeth story cannot be my story. What is shown or written in the cinema cannot be my story. What Amitabh Bachchan is doing, DrTPS cannot do, I understand, right? But what happens is, this young generation have no time to spare with their parents. Especially, women are supposed to have a good heart. Supposed to have. Right? Or they have. Many times they have. But the biggest problem is men think they have a good head. Whether they really have a good head or not is a big problem. So less head will create a lot of problems, egoistic problems. And therefore they are supposed to be more practical. Sometimes today they are becoming more practical. The ladies who have got a good heart is becoming less emotional. So this conflict is on the boundary. You are trying to take the role of other person is trying to role the other. There is a conflict of role. Yeah.
So it's very lucky thing you have brought. I remember I was discussing sometime with Mona and telling that, or generally people ask me, I use my mind only in professional work. I do not use my mind when it comes to home or my friends or close ones. I use my heart and soul there. Because there I don't see my mind being used, even if I'm wrong, even if I am saying something which is not okay, because they are my family and friends, it's okay. That is the bond should be. So I believe that every time at home front or family front, using mind is not so appreciative to create the relationship or the bond.
Yeah, Rajani, there is nothing wrong in conflicting because your brain and the manas always keep conflicting.
Brain is the most nuisiatic thing. I think that mind.
We cannot live without it, Rajni. बिना brain के problem हो जाएगा.
No, but the problem is not that. The problem is you yourself becomes a judge for you, and then keep finding yourself at fault.
Okay.
And you are not able to justify what you have done or what you have not done.
So seriousness of the issue, I believe, because mind is too logical, I believe.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. See, sometimes logic doesn't work.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
sometimes you have to use only what is practical is not life. Practical cannot become emotionally happy, no.
This is yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, sir. Now, yeah, you
Therefore,
are saying
assume that you
yes.
are a true practical person, there is no conflict. But you pretend that you are not practical, you are also emotional, and that pretension, that is what I'm saying, the freedom. I don't
Okay.
have the freedom to become so practical in my life and stay with what I want. I dilute it to make others happy, by which I am becoming unhappy. And that unhappiness is burning inside me because I am not using my freedom. That is why Bhagavad Gita says, Uddharet atmanatmanam atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bantu atmaiva rupuratmanaha. You are the person creating problems by yourself inside you.
Yes,
You are emotionally strong, be strong, but you don't want to be emotionally strong. Sometimes you want to dilute because there is a competition. You have a child, the child goes to father, they are also diplomatic. Earlier, the decision was with the father, no problem. Now they know that the father will not allow for something, they go to mother, take permission, and they come back to father and say, Mother already allowed, now why can't you allow? So the fight becomes between father and mother because they know this is how diplomatically things can happen, right? So there is somebody else who is playing inside you who don't want to be very strict saying we are not becoming individually strong. We are diluting our because we want to be diplomatic.
I think we are moving away from the point of the discussion. This is a lot about spirituality and stuff. I think you can connect with Dr. DrTPS Rajni.
This meeting I was telling you, no, somebody who was doing a graduation was contacting me, who was my student even maybe a few years back.
Yeah.
He asked me a basic question: should I concentrate on work or should I take a part-time job?
Okay.
Because in the West it is a pattern. While doing graduation, they work and earn and then do it. Just before joining, in the evening, I had a discussion with him. I told him, don't try to copy the West. The West, what happens is, as soon as your daughter or son is 12th class pass, I was there in US when one of the richest man, who is the vice president of a great company, who only one daughter, the parents were attending my Bhagavad Gita session, called me for an evening party, and the party was giving send off the daughter who passed 12th class.
Okay.
A traditional Tamil family who studied and graduated from India, went abroad, got into a higher position, got the daughter raised up there. The daughter demands and the culture demands giving a send off to their child as soon as 12th class is over because the freedom is more important there. And what is the girl supposed to do? Girl is supposed to do work and study. To come back to her parents' house, that means to meet their parent, they have to take an appointment.
Yeah, they have to take an appointment.
In that culture, the education system in which our children are going and studying today in US or UK, what are they learning? Here, the parents earn so much to take care of at least 5 generations to come. I am sure if my children or their children don't work also, they can live because that much we have earned, right? So my father also earned, my grandfather earned so much that 5 generations can live. So we have that bondage with the family, but the next generation or this generation is trying to copy that, a culture which is independence. Independence is different from freedom. See, we must understand, I have got the freedom to use any word to make a poetry. But that doesn't mean I can write a poetry with the nasty words. My poetry must be looking beautiful wherein I can select my words. So my individual action needs to be put in such a fashion. Ultimately, my life becomes a beautiful life. So the freedom and independence have to be understood in the culture. That's what I'm saying. More depend on freedom. I used a few words very carefully. Freedom, culture, and the work. The work can be my individual freedom, my family freedom, I work from home. That means what? Working in home is different from work from home today. And we have working day and holiday. That means working day I am not enjoying. Only holiday I enjoy. That is Western system. But here I enjoy, I am working now, though I am not paid. I am working and I am enjoying. This is my work. Social service is my work. But what has happened? The politicians have become so bad. They say it is a social responsibility, but they make money out of it, and that has become a business. So social service has become a business in India now. Understood? So it is the culture, it is the modern world which creates problems. So what we need, can we create a model? The model can be, see, you know, the life expectancy of insurance company. I'm a speaker in insurance company. So they have got $1 million round table conferences. Those who do $1 million business. So I was there in Bombay last few months back for the conference which they had in the whole India. It was in Marriott. They do conduct a lot of programs. Somebody asked me, what is the new policy which people can take? I said, if you take the lifespan of men and women in India, do you know that women have got more life expectancy than men? So where is the life insurance coming? There will be more widows in this world in future. So probably I said you should have a widow insurance or something like that, so that, no, see, you have to calculate the statistics, understand the life expectancy, understand why is it happening. Then you have to modify.
Caring of the men.
Yeah, it's true. Do you know the life expectancy of men in India is around 68 years only, but ladies have got 72. So 4 years. So if you take the whole world, India and the whole world almost the same. Only the number may be slightly different. So 4 years every woman, or maybe most of the women, are going to be widows and they are living. Understood? So you have to understand what we have to roll out for the public to understand what life is and what is going to happen. And if you take the disease which people have, the most of the disease are because of emotional problems. So the physical problems are less.
Yeah, let me, TPS, sorry, let me ask Arvind ji and Anita ji, I think we have left them out. Arvind ji, can I have your viewpoints please on the future of work? How would you define work?
जी मोना जी,
हाँ जी,
प्रणाम सभी को।
हाँ जी, प्रणाम आपको।
I was listening to Dr. TPS Srinivas